It's another Tuesday morning. It's the unofficial first day of summer, I was told today. So we'll talk about that and more right after this. And good morning. We're back. Thanks for hanging in for the waffles. I've had people tell me that they thought that that's all there was
just the waffle?
Just the waffles. I'm like, no, that's just the intro.
Yeah, that's just...
Good morning, Beth.
It is a great day in the Ozarks, Beth. Thank you. We were just talking about the nice weather that we're having.
Yeah, like an actual spring this year, because we don't usually get a spring, and all of a sudden, boom.
Like people in my neighborhood are out that magical last hour, 2 hours of the day.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful. Yeah, it's been great.
We had a little neighborhood dessert get-together last night over at the Garber's place.
We did on Sunday
fun.
night.
But our neighborhood's like 10 square miles.
Yes. Hello, neighbor. Over the hill.
I had several people show up. I'm like, okay, where do you live? Okay,
Oh,
I'm over
really?
on that road.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah,
How did you advertise this event?
I smelled the food cooking.
Liz
Is that cobbler?
Garber put it together.
Liz is awesome, by the
Yeah,
way. I'm
she
a big
is.
Liz fan.
So she put that together. She put it out on Facebook. She created a Facebook event. We have a little Facebook group for our kind of neighborhood area
That's
anyway. And we added some new members last night that didn't know it existed.
That's cool.
And then she went around and put invitations. I'm not going to say in mailboxes because that's of course a federal offense,
Yes.
but I'm sure at or near someone's mailbox, some invitations. And so there's probably
cool.
10 or 12. Maybe
I can see
14
Liz
people
doing
there.
that. I believe
Yep.
she heads up the PTO in Fordland, and she's a good gal. I like her a lot.
Yep. No, she's pretty
If
good.
I have a Fordland question, I'll ask Liz.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Now we know who to go to for
The Liz-
all things,
the Liz
all
Meister.
things, all things Fordland.
Well, that's fun. So yeah, the dessert. Was there a clear winner dessert?
No, I don't think there was. There was definitely some good desserts. There was a white chocolate lemon cheesecake, which
Ooh.
I actually didn't get a piece of that. There was a layered dessert that was pretty tasty. Somebody brought Krispy Kreme donuts. That's a win.
Sometimes you just got to bring a donut.
And I made gluten-free almond butter bars because everything we make in our house is peanut and gluten-free, so we don't kill the middle one.
I know that.
The middle.
Yeah. We do that for our youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's
now,
a peanut butter
and
bar
now I'm
recipe.
cooking on the FODMAP, right? So I'm made some changes in my diet because of a long time issue with acid reflux.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been on Nexium for like 20 years.
Reflux guy, eh?
Yeah, and
Oh.
evidently Nexium for the long term is really not good for your body.
It's only 20 years.
Right. Is that long term?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Hey, good morning, Steve.
So pretty much take all the things I love to eat and
Throw it in the trash.
And throw it in the trash. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
I'm eating
come up-
bland stuff, and I'm still doing coffee, by the
this,
way. But
Alpha Gale thing keeps coming up.
Yeah.
And I keep hearing people getting tagged
yes.
with that.
my sister's got it. Yeah.
Okay, so has this always been around?
Yeah,
and we
because
just
she
didn't
went
know.
with Shelby out
right.
there, and
To
she
the-
was talking how she can't even, there's bottled water she can't drink. What? Because
I didn't know that.
if it's filtered through bone char, she'll have a reaction to that. That's what Amy, right?
yeah, Amy, yeah.
Amy
What?
told Shelby that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that
Yeah.
serious.
How would you like to work in the
Chicken and
bone
fish.
filter factory? Bring in the
Bone
bones.
char.
Bone char.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, okay.
Craziness.
So we think, has it been around forever and we just didn't know why people all of a sudden were allergic to whatever they get allergic, like meat, right?
I do wonder if there's a lot of that going on.
Or did it appear
But this
recently?
is a tick-borne illness,
Yeah,
right?
from the
understanding.
Lone
There's
Star tick.
there's a lot of new tick-borne illnesses, I guess.
What's up with the
Are they
ticks?
new or
What
just
is that?
I mean,
We
when
need
I
a
was a kid,
scientist to
literally
weigh in.
ran around, get ticks
All
all
the time.
All the time,
It was
yeah.
not
all
a
the
deal.
time.
You just
Yeah.
pick them off and go on.
You'd
which
heard of
now
Lyme's
seems really
disease.
disgusting to me. But
well,
at the time,
yeah,
it
ticks are disgusting. They've always been disgusting. You just
Yeah.
didn't have that kind of like, oh, my life is over now because I got bit by a tick.
Yeah.
But we used to run around the woods, and we'd come back in the evening, and you pull all the ticks off, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way it was in the hillbilly Ozarks around here.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then, like, I remember in the '80s we heard about Lyme disease.
Lyme disease, yeah.
I have a friend with Lyme disease. It wreck you.
My
I mean,
friend's
Yeah.
mom had it, yeah.
you just sore joints, and some days you can't function. It just sounds awful.
I think I
just-
have Lyme disease.
No, you're old.
Oh, okay.
It's- I see how you got
I-
confused with the two. They're
I
pretty
got
much the
over
same,
50.
I understand.
Sore joints, and there's some days I don't feel like doing anything.
I do need to research this a little bit because I know more and more people that have the alpha gal or gall, what is
don't
it?
know.
Gall.
And I'm curious if this is something that's always been around or it's new. Because I mean, seriously, who's
Well, there
getting
was
us
this
with the
lab
ticks?
in
What's the deal?
China.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who released the
Who
tick-borne
released
diseases?
the tick-borne diseases?
Oh,
Makes
good
sense
One
to
more
me.
thing trying to kill us.
Yep. Well,
I was showing property in Licking, Missouri, and it's rural. The person coming in was like, "Do we need to bring tick spray?" I was like, "I mean, you can if you want to. It's not going to keep it off of
it's
you."
never a bad idea.
And yeah, I mean, like you can have it. Yeah.
It's one of those things where, sorry, I mean,
No, you're good. I know what you're going to say.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, something's going to kill you. So, like, I'm getting off Nexium. I could die of esophageal cancer now.
Yeah.
Does
Or
the Nexium cause that,
or
or does the reflex cause
No, the
that?
reflux causes that.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll get that now. But
Yeah.
before, if I stay on the Nexium, I may have liver failure, kidney failure. So something's going to get you.
Yeah.
So will the DEET get
you,
or will
or
the
will-
tick get you?
I know I'm.
We're sitting around there with our neighbors, having it was Sunday night. We had a fish fry and
That's
desserts
fun.
and all that, and that was a good time. But I'm just sitting there enjoying. We're sitting around the fire. It was awesome, and people start spraying stuff, and I'm like, I'm breathing that in. I thinking I'm gonna get cancer from like
I know.
ingesting your bug spray that you just.
I know.
Squirted
and
in my mouth.
I'm not a chemically person. I'm not the type of person that hoses myself down with chemicals. I don't use many in my house.
Yeah.
I was kind of trending that direction, and then like several years ago, I just kind of stopped using them. And well, when I had babies, I was like, well, if I can have just like vinegar and Dawn, and I mean Dawn's not a perfect anti-chemical thing, but it's it's been around forever and it's fine. But
Like Pert.
like Perk
it's good.
Plus, yeah.
Plus.
But I'm like, I don't think I need all of these chemicals in my house, and so I just kind of figured out a way to not have to use them.
It's better living through technology.
Yeah.
Was the promise of the '50s, as I recall.
Yes. So I'm kind of with you. I'm not excited to hose myself down with sunscreen and bug spray every day. I don't want to do that.
I hate sunscreen.
And then you get skin cancer.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
it's like,
Well, you hit the sun other than the peak hours. Don't be out in
Yeah.
the sun between
Right.
like 11 and 2, right?
When I mow my yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun's out, guns
prime
out.
mow time. So it sounds like we all attended food or barbecue related things over the weekend because it was Memorial Weekend and the weather was beautiful. I don't think it could have got much better.
No,
I mean, it was great. It was great.
You want to know what I did on Memorial Day proper?
What'd you do?
I detailed my daughter's green box, the Honda Element.
You got an Element? Nice.
Well, no, the boys, we bought that for the boys to share 3
Hand-me-down
years
Element?
ago. And so,
It's good
for
stuff.
3 years, teenage boys drove in it. It was their trash can. It was their
Ew.
lunch table. It was,
Gross.
if you can imagine the smell of locker room meets barbecue sauce that's been fermenting for, years.
Sorry to all of our viewers.
Yeah. So
gross.
Maddox, the 16-year-old young driver, is going, I ain't having that. I'm like, we'll detail it.
She's
We'll
like,
get it clean.
ew.
So it was nasty.
Do the kids still put the air fresheners on their windows? That was a big thing when we were all
Yeah,
teenage drivers.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, gotta get the
And
signature
in the
air
vents,
freshener.
and we did one of the scent bombs, and we're
We're
We tinted the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tinted it.
So I go to recharge the AC unit last night at about 9:30 in the evening, and to my fun discovery, there was a bird's nest right there on top of my battery. And I'm like, we've been driving this thing. Can you imagine my 16-year-old daughter going out and like calling me, Dad, the car's on fire. There's flames. Jeez. There was hay all over the inside of that thing.
Oh,
it was awful. Like they didn't build a little bird like house. It was a mansion.
It was an estate.
It was a sprawling estate.
This is the engine estate of Birdland.
So you think, okay, this will take 15 minutes, right? No job on your car takes 15 minutes.
Isn't that everything?
Now, yeah, I just wanted to go to bed. And so now I'm taking the battery out. I'm trying to get a leaf blower to blow it out. And I've got the shop vac trying to suck it out. Like, it was hay everywhere. Awful.
That's awesome. That's like everything. It's
All
like,
to discover when I hook up the charger for the AC, like, it didn't need charge. It was full. Why didn't I test that first? Oh, because I still had a bird's nest.
Was it not like blowing cold or?
No, he just
thought it was maybe time.
No, it was not blowing cold. I replaced I replaced the clutch a year ago, and I think it's already gone bad.
The clutch.
Oh,
The
crap.
clutch. The clutch on your AC compressor has a clutch.
See, I'm old enough when like cars you drove them had a clutch.
I know, I had a clutch too, a standard truck. My last truck before this one.
Yeah.
But anyway, the clutch on the AC unit
okay.
is not engaging. So
That's
anyway,
bad. It's like you set out to do something and you're like, this is going to take 5 minutes. 3 hours later, you're like, it didn't take 5 minutes.
just hay and mud and dirt on my face, sweating, angry.
My goal was Sunday to mow the yard, actually about 10 o'clock in the morning after I got home from church. And so, you know, I pull my noise canceling headphones out. Battery's dead. So I'm, all right, well, I'll plug them in.
It's the worst.
So I'll charge them because, you know, I can't hear anyway. And the last thing I need to do is make it worse. And so I've got it charging and all that. And I get that done. And then what did I do? I went back out, to mow about an hour later. So it's 11 o'clock now. So now I'm, you know, and the battery on the mower is dead. So it won't start. So I had to hook up the charger to the mower. So back in the house for another hour. So yeah, I mowed my yard like noon.
Did you get that
1 o'clock,
dad
the worst
rage?
time.
Did you get the dad rage about it? Or did you handle
No,
it in
it
stride?
wasn't that. Honestly, I was kind of like, okay, I can sit here for
The
another.
AC a little bit longer. Yeah.
That's right.
So you guys saw the mouse post, right, on Facebook about me discovering the mouse hole.
Love the mouse door, by the way. That is brilliant.
So I was like, hey, Jesse, you're making a mouse door. Jesse would write on it. And he's like, because I can tell, I know Jesse, and he would start this, and then 7 hours later.
Yeah. He's machining hinges for this little, you know.
He would be like totally off the deep end trying to get this perfect. And you know, I'm one of those people that I don't work with tools often, but when I do, it's 100% the wrong tool.
You're getting a mic.
Is this
change.
me?
Yeah, Peter said switch mics.
Oh, so hold on. That's cool. So that's
No,
good.
it's all right. That's why
That's
you're
what
here.
you're here, Mr. Producer.
We have a producer, so it's really, really handy.
Excellent job, producer. So I'm like, Jesse's not biting on the mouse door. He's like, and we do not have the proper tools for this thing. So I was like, I'm going to do this. I don't know what night it was. I was like, I can make this thing. Oh, my mic is sounding terrible. Thanks, Beth. So
Peter's on it.
Hopefully
Peter's
that's
on it.
now
Our producer
fixed.
got it. Let us know if it's better. And so I go out and I find a piece of like a board. And I start using some saws. They're not for wood. I don't even know what they were for. One was
like a
one
hack
I've
saw?
used for like Halloween crafting. It's like this little hand saw
Well, you
thing.
shaped it well, whatever you use. That's,
Oh, I got that, and then I got the sander
Got
after
the sander,
it.
yeah.
So, thank you. Yes, our producer wins. He's like, I've done it. And so it was hilarious, though. And then the girls got excited about it. We're painting it, and it was totally that moment. They're like, "Can I paint it?" And I'm like, "I've spent an hour working on this. Can we not? Can we like be careful while we're painting it?" And they're like, don't, not yet. You gotta wait. You gotta
it
get the
looks
proper brush.
amazing. It's straight
It was
out of
fun.
Tom and Jerry. I
It was
mean,
fun.
it's brilliant.
And I'm hoping someone will discover this years later because it is totally hidden
Yeah,
behind the AC
unit.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that this will be a great discovery in the future for
You can see a
someone.
little mouse coming out with a top hat, a cane,
Yeah,
and a monocle.
yeah.
You know, like,
It is, but I mean, these are the things you have to do in life, right? You have to have fun. And but no, Jesse would totally have gotten the dad rage on that project.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I could see it.
was all good, but yard mode.
Dad rage is real.
It is a real thing.
You got a limited amount of time, and you want to get a project done, and then it's double the time, all the time, every time.
I bought like one of those magnifying mirrors for the bathroom that you mount on the wall.
Oh, those are awful.
Yeah. And
the older I get, the worse those things are.
They
I don't
become
want
very
one.
necessary, especially for women. So
Look at the size of those pores.
Just glad I'm old enough that I barely even know what you're talking about. Like, they have those things?
You wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
see it
Yeah.
anyway. So
That's fine.
So I'm like, Jesse, can you mount this? He's like, oh yeah, sure. And then like I come back and I was at work, and he's like, that took hours and like 2 trips to the tube center.
Yeah.
I was like,
Couldn't find the stud. Found the stud.
broke the screw thing.
Hit the electrical, which the meter said wasn't there. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Just about died of electrocution, but I got your mirror up.
Got your mirror up.
Why are you so angry? I'm not angry.
And now you don't like it.
Yeah.
Can you take that down?
It's
please?
never
I decided-
moving. I can tell you that
decided
right
I
now.
don't want it anymore, but-
It will sell with the house sometime.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Goodness me.
You're probably never going to sell that house, though. I would think you'd
It's
never
one of
sell
those
that
houses
She's
where
a realtor. Come on, she'll sell the
I
house.
know, but they put so much heart and soul, I feel like, into that piece of property.
It's one of those that it will be hard. I definitely don't have any plans to sell anytime soon, but like Chris says, I'm a realtor, so I mean, it will be hard to ever let go of that place.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those where I'm like, it's hard to pass the torch on some properties. Like, here you go, you take care of this now, and you're like, they're not gonna be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that at our neighborhood party because one of our neighbors, when we first moved in, lived like 3 houses down, and now he's across the street. So he moved in our neighborhood. Like,
Yeah.
And so the new neighbor in his old house has cut down the trees he planted.
Oh gosh.
And it's awful because the house, like, and all the landscaping too. So it's just super bare. It looks awful, and so it's really hard to be that guy going, I planted that maple tree. What was wrong with that maple tree? Everybody in the neighborhood was upset about it, but them the most, of course. It's brutal.
Painful, and it's so weird how people will go in and wipe out landscaping, like stuff that's easy to maintain. It's like, why would you do that?
So we refurbished a log cabin in Dexter when we lived there, and it was a massive project for me. I mean, took over a year to do all this stuff. But we went back and visited our neighbors at one point, and they had put in new windows. And the windows had this bright white trim. It's like, did not fit a log cabin at all. And I was just, it was so awful. I told Shane, I'm like, I wish we hadn't come back.
I know.
I don't want to see that. It's forever stuck in my mind.
There
is
are
hard.
a few stories stuck in my brain of people that sold homes and then returned 6 months, 1 year, 2 years later, and absolutely go ballistic on the new owners. How dare you?
Oh, wow.
Like, this is my house. You can't do that. I mean, literally, those words are coming out.
We're
I
not
can't
that
believe
far.
you did that to
we
my
didn't go
house.
that far. We thought it. We didn't say it.
I know.
I wanted to knock on the door.
I know
What
of
were
at
you
least
thinking?
one scenario where it was literally that bad. How dare you do this to my house?
Gosh.
Like,
Wow.
it's not your house anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and I mean, you have to detach from them,
You
right?
have to.
And sometimes it's odd, like my house I lived in Springfield for 8 years that Jesse and I, brought back from the dead and did all these, and it was our first home, and the house we brought both of the girls home to. So I think we'll always be sentimental about it. And we made it really nice, and then it went through a time where it wasn't nice. And then it's back to doing pretty good, and it's like, oh, okay, but there's a Japanese maple there that I still dream about sneaking in the night and digging out. But luckily they didn't cut it down.
Right.
I mean, why would cut down a maple? Oh, it just makes me mad.
Oh, it made us all so mad.
It's like, no!
If it was a pin oak, yes, cut that sucker
Don't like
down.
pin oaks.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever tried to mow within 50 yards of a pin oak tree? Because a sucker will reach like a whomping willow. It will reach out and stick you in the
Oh,
head.
yeah, yes. And they drop leaves like all through until like February. It's
We
really
have one
weird.
pin oak in the backyard, and it's the bane of my yard mowing existence.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, not
Well,
bad.
what's going on in Rogersville? What's happening? You guys had
You've got a big weekend coming
I've
up.
got a big weekend coming up on June 10th with the band at 5K. We're excited about that. Will's going to be doing the pork, so that's awesome. Woohoo! And it'll be good. It'll be a good event. I'm excited, hoping the weather holds. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's our 5th one, 5 years of this.
Wow.
I'm like, how does that happen? That's crazy. So we have a pretty good amount of people registered so far.
And they can still register
They
right
can
up
still-
till the day?
Right up to the 15 minutes before the
Okay.
event. They can register.
They can register there.
You
at
can
the event.
show up in your silly little shorts. And
Yes,
get-
your silly little shorts, but the price does go up at basically midnight on 11:59.
So the
on
day before,
31st.
day before, you're still at the
You can still register. No, up as in this month. So at the end of this month, which is it
tomorrow, right?
So the price goes up tomorrow.
okay,
So
or after
you
tomorrow.
might as well register. Yes, price goes up after tomorrow. So you might as well register and get in there. The shirt's awesome this year. It's a hoot. It's
Love
so
it.
funny, the purple dino. So it's cool. You got
Yeah.
that.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you guys had the soccer over the weekend. It was tough, it sounds like.
Did yeah.
Yeah.
We buried ourselves. We were down 4-0 at halftime,
I-
and then we
yeah.
lost 4-2. So it
Yeah.
just shows we played in the second half. Had we gotten off to a better start,
Yep.
we'd be going to the Final Four this weekend possibly.
That's
so
tough.
they were a good team, but unfortunately we didn't show what we're capable of in the first half. So, but I'm proud of the girls and. What a fun season.
Yeah, that's cool.
One of the fun things we did this year, instead of doing a breakfast the day of the match, we did pasta dinner the night before.
That's a good idea.
And so if you've been out to the stadium, where the garage doors are,
Mm-hmm.
behind the end zone, by the tunnel there's a porch. And it's
That's
really
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, like we've talked about with the weather being so nice in the evenings right now, we sat up there. I mean, by the end of it, I was chilly. I had to go put my top on, to kind of warm back up. But it was just such a beautiful night.
That's
and,
cool.
That was after we had practice, and then last week we did soccer camp for the little kids, our future
Yeah. Yes.
soccer Wildcats.
I know Nolan
we did that
and
for
Anna had a good time.
yeah. Nolan
Yeah.
it was so much fun
Yeah.
having them out there. But so it was fun because practice, then running camp, and then the parents brought pasta and just watching the girls just enjoying the moment.
That's
You
a good
know.
carb load for the
It
next
was,
day.
yeah,
Is
good
that
carb load for the
pasta?
game,
Yeah.
yep. And so, but just watching them enjoy the experience. It was a
That's
fun
awesome.
group of girls. What a great team.
That's cool.
Great season, and sad it ended a weekend too soon, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun.
Very
It was a good
cool,
time. I
very
appreciate the community coming out. It was great to have good representation out there on a holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
To be there
Yeah.
Saturday in the middle of the day in
That's
the heat
awesome.
was really good. So thank you all for coming out and supporting.
Very cool.
Yeah, I feel like we need to let people know when those games are a little more because I didn't know that there was a game.
Yeah.
I might have even showed up had I known there was a game.
It's funny. I think K-ROG shared a post about it. So
The auto share
probably did. It's probably auto share.
Yeah.
I don't follow
I
K-ROG.
was like, I don't see everything on K-ROG.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that we are auto sharing that
Yeah.
stuff. Then it is getting out there. So just
Yeah,
need to make it
that's
happen.
good.
But
it's good. But yeah,
now that I've been,
it's
I've-
summertime.
I've seen 3 seasons of Ted Lasso. I sort of have a.
Well, no spoilers. I'm still
Okay.
only a
Are
couple
you a couple
episodes in
behind? Okay.
to season 3.
This season takes
Season 3 has got some. We got some.
I don't know that
moments,
they're
like, I
ever
don't-
going to match season 1 ever again. That was
Well,
You
they're
just
doing
wait till
what
you get
they
further
do
into
in all
season
of them, which
3.
is like they get you hooked on a show,
Yeah.
and then they like, okay,
Fill
and here's all the woke crap
Yes.
that we've
Yeah, we're
sucked
having
you
a woke
into.
season.
I've caught a bit of that.
But episode before last was awesome. It was back to more original. I think that's what it was. Episode before last was really good. So, but you can't. You kind of set yourself up to fail on these shows that come out of the gate incredible. Because how do you
match it?
How do you match it? It's really hard to do that.
I still think the worst TV fail of all time along that range was Lost.
Yeah,
Because they
people
wrote
are
it
still
ended.
mad
They
about
had a
that.
great story, they had great questions, and had no answers. Nothing to do. I mean, there was like, what do the numbers mean? What is this? What's really going on here?
No, nothing.
Purgatory.
No, we just came up with a good
Maybe.
idea.
Maybe.
Ecumenical purgatory. I preached on that one. That was a sermon illustration one time.
Yeah,
was the end of
it's there
Lost.
for the
It
taking,
was
for sure.
Just like Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh man.
No. Anyway.
Yeah, that's like the end of Sopranos. Did you watch? Did you watch
I never did
Sopranos?
watch
Yeah,
that.
I watched The
Never did get
Sopranos.
into
The
that.
end was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you end that? I mean, unless
I don't
you
know.
end it, Like,
You end it,
like
yeah.
everybody's dead, Tony wins, or Tony just got assassinated. Other than that, there is not an ending to that show. But
Yeah, that is
it
true.
was interesting. I mean, the door opens, close. You assume you know who's coming in the door, but maybe not.
Yeah.
It might have
yeah.
been somebody else.
It would be really weird, though, to take one of these shows that people have worked on for years and try to get an ending that everybody's going to be happy with. I can't, it doesn't really happen.
The X-Files, I felt like, in the original series, ended it with
Did they
okay,
do good?
that's, now we know what has been going on. They solved the story arc. Breaking Bad
Breaking Bad did a good
ended.
I
job.
never got into that one either.
It ended.
Oh,
I actually
gosh.
just rewatched it again. Yeah.
It's a...
I remember I started it. I watched the first episode and I was just like, not feeling it.
Yeah, it's
Got out
one of
of it.
those you got to get. A lot of those, I
Yeah.
think, shows like Breaking Bad and Yellowstone, they start off with things that make you go, I don't want to watch this because
Yeah, I
there's
don't really
nudity
need to-
and there's
It's too
abrasiveness.
much, yeah.
And then it's like after the first 2 episodes, it's like, oh, they don't do that anymore. And it's just, for the most part, like in
Yeah, I
Breaking
can't
Bad,
watch
it was,
Yellowstone anymore, though. I'm done with it. It's
oh,
too much.
I'll finish it
It's too
because I
much.
can't not finish things.
That's how I was with The Walking Dead. For 3 seasons, I hated it. I'm like, why am I? Oh, because I started it. I gotta
Yeah,
keep watching.
I'll tell you that's one I've not been able to stick with Walking Dead.
Yeah, I had to give up on it, too.
It's on repeat. Like the first couple seasons were good, and then it's like this
Yeah,
is the same
yeah,
story
yeah.
again and again
Yeah.
and again. And they don't know what they're going,
I feel
where
like
they're going.
there hasn't been a big show recently that's like a... Is there anything that's come out other than Ted Lasso? That's about the only one I can
Better
think of.
Call Saul, I think, just completed, which was a spinoff of Breaking Bad, which is actually why I went
But
back
yeah,
and watched Breaking
But
Bad.
like something
wonder I haven't
original,
heard of it.
completely out of the... Ted Lasso, I think, is about the only one I can think of that's out there that like a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah.
But then again, now things are so different now because there's Netflix and Hulu and people aren't even watching like cable TV anymore, and so there's like all these things, and I don't know where anything is anymore. It's really weird.
Yeah, you almost have to just, depending on the device that you're using, but sometimes I use an Apple TV primarily as
Yeah.
my appliance. I'll just hit the search button and search for the show, and it'll show you where all you can watch
Where
it.
you
Does
watch
it really? I didn't know it did
And what's
that.
interesting I found is
Sometimes.
because
Like,
I don't
do Netflix.
I don't want to
'cause
pay
they're-
I don't want to pay for all those subscriptions. So
Yeah.
I'll get one for a month if it's got the show I want to watch,
do
and then
that.
cancel it and then get a different. Yeah.
We just finished watching New Girl, and it's actually a really fun show.
I watched it for a while, didn't finish it. It got like
It got repetitive.
It was kind of the same thing.
got repetitive.
We're watching Ghosts.
The old man
We've,
doesn't want to watch a new girl.
Yeah, that's right. We've had Peter watching Ghosts, actually.
What's
Yeah,
Ghosts?
Because I hear that's a great show.
It is a pretty funny show. So it was a British show first, and so the British version is a season ahead of the American version. I think the American version is better, but probably because I'm an American,
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But the British show is funny. So we've watched all of the American Ghosts, and then we went back and we started watching all the British episodes of it. It's funny. These people inherit a house, and something happens, and the female of the couple and. In
Gotcha.
one of I think in the American one they're married for sure. In the British one, I'm not sure if they're married or just engaged. I don't know, but something happens to her, and she can now see the ghosts.
Oh. Got a Beetlejuice situation.
Yeah,
or
it's like if
Casper
Beetlejuice
situation.
became a sitcom.
Aren't they making a new Beetlejuice?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they are, and I'm honestly excited about
Michael
that.
Keaton
I
in
love
it
me
again.
some Beetlejuice. It's good stuff.
But it is amusing. We've enjoyed the show. So.
We've hit one of those random stretches on our show where we're talking about shows.
It's a show about a show.
Waffle.
It's
It's a
like
show
what we
about a
do.
show.
a
I
show
know
about a
somebody
show.
the other day was talking to Jesse about the waffle. He's like, I was watching it the other day and they were talking about playground equipment. What did they talk about? And I was like, anything.
The Waffle.
It's
Anything and
completely-
everything.
And in your comments, you can always start the conversation.
Yeah.
We're happy to talk about what you want to talk about
Absolutely.
because we have no plan.
Well, and Emma wound up her season at the Outpost on Saturday. They did kind of a fire sale. She didn't have much left. I think she had a great spring season.
Well, I'll
so
tell you
I'm excited for
that
her.
the 6 tomato plants I bought from her are doing.
How's your tomato
fantastic.
situation? Do we have little
We
green
have
tomatoes yet?
fruits on all 6 plants.
That's
and just waiting for those
exciting.
bad boys to get big and juicy and red
The
that I won't
tomato-
eat.
Bumper tomato crop.
that I won't eat,
You
but
can't eat
Shayna
'em?
will.
Is that
No,
how
I
you're-
can eat them.
You just
I
don't want to?
don't like tomatoes until they're spiced up, candied up, and those are the things I can't eat now because I'll get heartburn. And I'm not happy about it.
I watered my frankenfruit tree again.
How's it doing?
It seems to be surviving.
Yeah.
which
Have all the
is-
fruits merged together yet?
Well, I mean, it's literally like that high out of
It's
the
a twig,
ground.
yeah.
So
Got a few
there
years
are
before you
3
get
independent twigs, and they all have green leaves.
That's a
Which
plus.
seems like, yeah.
The beginning of a massive orchard.
Boy, I hope not. I certainly don't want anything else I have to take care of. But
Don't worry, the deer will eat them all anyway.
that's
Oh,
a good
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Yeah, it is out.
you're
Well, I know that like the cherries. My grandmother had a cherry tree, and I mean, you could not beat the birds.
No.
The birds would show up and eat the cherries. You had no chance.
No, I mean,
of
it's
getting
not going to happen. Good morning, Heather. Thank
But,
you for joining us.
Anyway, yeah. Now that it's time to go.
Now that
Let's
it's time to
anyway.
go. Thanks for joining us, Heather.
We got
Right.
a late start. It's been, not too late, but
No, not too late.
yeah, not too late. Now, let's see what else is going on in Rogersville. I think it's cool that the strip mall over by Apple Market is
Yeah.
full. I think that's cool. They've got all the spaces leased between, I guess it's between Rogefit and Lucy's, everything in there. So, and I'm excited about the gift store that they've got.
Yeah, I haven't been into that.
It's cool.
Yeah.
We've needed a gift shop for a long time.
Well, I know you had some success there.
Yeah, I found a gift for a niece, cousin.
Your last minute shopping stop is what I hear.
Yes, it's good stuff. So that's exciting. It's neat to get some new stores open.
This is full. As
This,
full as you
this is
want it
full.
to
I
be.
mean, we have one office space available at the Enterprise Center, and that's it. So, and what's crazy, you're talking about them filling up over there. We've had an uptick all of a sudden of inquiries.
Really? That's interesting.
Either can I buy your building, or do you have anything I can lease?
Interesting.
So that I really do find that to be interesting that people are saying, hey, I want to be in Rogersville, or I want to invest in Rogersville. Can I buy your plaza?
Beth's
Yes.
a fan of the Mexican restaurant.
Mexican
the new
restaurant.
I had to
restaurant.
cancel last week. I was supposed to meet there for the first time, and
I just
it didn't
need him to
happen.
serve Coke and not Pepsi.
oh, I know that's a thing.
Yep.
Deal breakers.
It's kind of a deal breaker, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Because
that-
if it's Mexican food,
I
you
want
need
Coke
the
with Mexican
good
food.
soft drink, and that means Diet Coke, not Diet Pepsi.
To you.
To me.
to you. I will say there is a
What else would
like
matter?
synonymous with
Exactly.
pizza and Coke and Mexican food and Coke. I put those two together in my
Yep.
mind. It's
Yep.
one of those things that I do, definitely.
See, I put pizza and Pepsi together because that was
Do
my
you?
childhood.
Oh, yeah?
Family movie night. We were a Pepsi family.
That's
Order
when
pizza.
that's when the
2 liter
heartburn
of Pepsi.
started.
That is when it was the pepperoni when I was 8 years old.
Oh, I was so mad. I miss Pizza Hut thick crust pepperoni pizza.
Oh,
it was.
thick
it-
Thank you, Beth.
They still make it, but it doesn't taste the same. So
I'll usually get water just to punish them by not giving them money for
I
not
agree.
having what I
had
want.
tea.
Yeah,
That's like I
won't.
totally am.
Is that punishment? Because I get water everywhere I go.
Well,
Servers
rather
hate
than
me?
It's less
no,
milk.
no, it's
Yeah.
for
No,
them
they-
because you don't. Well, I don't know if they hate
That's
you
what
or not.
that's where the profit is in that.
It
fountain
is.
drink.
It is, and that's honestly, I think, why a lot of places serve Pepsi is because Pepsi for a restaurant is so much cheaper than
Yes,
to serve
it
Coke.
is.
But I think you have to take into consideration how many people won't go to your restaurant at all.
Interesting.
We have a pizza and wild cherry Pepsi linked in your mind. Isn't that fun? How you connect things in your mind? Like
Interesting
This
stuff.
goes with this. I
Wow.
agree. It's a thing.
There
it's
you
like
have
a
it.
memory deal.
And Jukebox Hero and Galaga on
Oh, man.
the arcade machine in the Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was
Yep.
really bummed because I bought a pizza crust kit to make. It was kind of expensive at a fancy, it was the barbecue shop on Sunshine, and they had this pizza crust. I was like, I'm gonna make my own thick crust, old school Pizza Hut pepperoni pizza. No, didn't work.
No.
Yeast wasn't
I
alive.
think you've got to have. Oh well,
It was a bummer.
Wouldn't you have to have one of those like circular cast iron?
That's what I was gonna cook it in.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't have a
Yeah.
deep dish circle cast iron.
I've got one that'll work
Sounds like
perfect.
it's time to get one.
Wow.
But the
Yeah, of
yeast in the
course.
mix was dead. And that made me really mad.
But we cook gluten free in our house, which makes pizza problematic as well.
Cauliflower crust.
Cauliflower crust. I know.
It's
Yeah.
not bad,
Beth, when Mercy,
but it's not great.
this is funny. When Mercy went to Pepsi, my office was a Coca-Cola warehouse.
I'll bet.
I used to
That's
hoard.
funny. She's stocking up.
she's like,
I can
"Come
see
into
all
my
your
office."
coworkers coming in like, give me this stuff.
You got the stuff?
Give me
I
the
got
good
the Coke.
stuff.
Thanks, Vicky.
I got this cold Coke. I got this warm Coke. What do you want? What do you want?
All right, so yeah, when I was an assistant prosecutor in Greene County in the 1900s, right? There was a soda machine, but it was downstairs. It was a real pain to get to. So one weekend, I actually hauled in a mini fridge, and I would bring in cases of soda, stock all different kinds of stuff, and people come to my office and buy it from me.
That's awesome.
And and they said, well, your refrigerator keeps it colder for one, and we don't have to go downstairs. And I was a nickel cheaper too. So, but I would.
Always an entrepreneur.
I know, it's such a terrible thing because you just can't help it, if you've got that bent. But I mean, I would like stock different grocery stores around town to see who was selling soda for the cheapest.
Yeah, I mean, that's what entrepreneurs do. What am I
great deals.
already doing that I could get paid to do?
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess that's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have a Coke full or a fridge full of Coke. I might as well get paid to have it.
I guess that's right. So I had like a little Altoids tin that people would leave their change in and their money. And, keep track
Love
of it.
that. That's awesome.
It was an honor system.
I also can't have Altoids because of getting off Nexium. Peppermint,
We
heartburn.
probably could have a whole episode on this Nexium
What about
situation.
what about a cinnamon Altoid?
So peppermints
No,
cause
probably not,
heartburn?
no. Yeah.
Do they really?
Pretty much water gives me heartburn, so I don't know that it matters.
Is there anything that doesn't give you heartburn?
Coffee, apparently.
Yeah,
Or you
coffee,
just-
it
just
gives me
suffer-
heartburn.
Suffer through.
I've backed off though, so yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Anyway, I got to work out more so I can stay awake in the afternoons.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, it actually does.
Okay.
It's true.
So how long have you been off of it?
I've not taken a pill for 5 days.
Okay.
So it was every other day with Zantac in between, and then it was like 2 days without it, and then one on. And so I'm still on Zantac just to kind of.
Gosh, so it's that bad.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man.
So eventually,
That
I'd like to get
sucks.
to only take like a Tums or a Zantac when needed, and not. But I mean, I'm eating bland.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you or a loved one has suffered ill effects from taking Nexium, please call.
I think the ill effects is I can't enjoy food.
I was gonna say
I may just go back to eating what I want and then suffer kidney failure at some point. Just sounds more reasonable.
Like you said, something's going to get you.
Yeah, something's gonna get you.
Something's going to get you. But
I can't pronounce that. Soft chews work don't have tenacted. What is the acid?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
acid.
Uh huh.
Is that how you say it? Soft chews work don't use often. The tomatoes.
but when tomatoes attack,
Attack or attract?
attract.
Attack. Wasn't there Attack of the Killer Tomato? Wasn't
Yeah,
that a
there
movie?
is. It's a horrible movie.
I'm sure it
was
was. It
absolute
sounds bad.
trash. But
Absolute.
All right,
trash.
we said we were done 15 minutes ago.
Yeah,
we
well, this is the
waffled
way
on.
it works.
We
so-
waffled on.
all right.
Well, we need to continue to hear about your Nexium journey because I think it's important for the people to
posted.
know.
Tune in next week for more.
I'm gonna become the angriest man on.
I don't blame you. If I couldn't eat,
I'm gonna
Really?
I'm gonna overcome the will for the grumpiest old man on
All
set.
right. We'll see how it goes. Find out next week. We'll be here. Thanks for watching. Bye.